No one holds a higher standard than yourself. But with that, no one can uplift you, love you, support you as much as yourself could. You have the potential to do this.
Hello, loves. You are listening to the Love Life with Court show, and as always, I am your host, Courtney. If this is your first time tuning into the pod, well, welcome to the family, and if not, here is a warm welcome back. Without further ado, let's get started on today's episode.
Hi, loves. Today we are getting in it. We have been evolving lately. We have been growing. We have been going through the trenches. And if you can't already tell by the title, your girl has been doubting herself. That's the only way I can describe it. And as you know, anytime I'm going through something, I always use the resources that are very easily accessible to me, like watching every YouTube video existing on my current challenge, I guess you could put it. And I summarize all of the aha moments I had along the journey. And then I get on this mic and I share it with you. And if you can tell by the energy that I am bringing, I'm on the other side of this self-doubt. And I'm on the journey of recognizing that self-doubt simply shows how much I want something and how much it's already existing in my reality and in my future. Because the only reason we want it so bad is because it already is ours and present in our future. Without further ado, let's just dive in. Let's just get into it. Now, if you have been feeling a lack of confidence regarding yourself and your abilities, if you have been raised in a home of narcissistic parents, or during your upbringing, you had a lot of people influencing your life where they instilled their own limiting beliefs onto you. If you have been showing yourself a lot of tough love lately, or if this is just a typical coping mechanism for you, or if you just have this underlying fear of failure, or even fear of success and not knowing what that will bring, this episode is for you, because this is what it means to have self-doubt. And the biggest forms of self-doubt is typically imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, and indecisiveness. So if you have been feeling lately like the life you have, maybe it's just uncomfortable, you didn't think that it would happen this fast, or opportunities that are coming that you don't know if you're ready for, if you are constantly turning down opportunities for you to grow and thrive because you don't think your abilities are aligned with it, if you're just not sure what you want to do or when to start doing it, this is the time to learn and grow and overcome this bullshit self-doubt that is inevitable, but we can introduce coping mechanisms to really get through these inevitable thoughts of self-doubt and doubting oneself and thrive with it, challenge it, embrace self-doubt, and understand again that the only reason we want it so bad is because it's already ours and present in our future. Today's episode is all about teaching you what I have learned along this journey of doubting oneself. I'll be quite transparent with you. Lately, in the past few months, I have these moments where I just I think that it's not possible. I think that all of the work I'm putting in is not paying off. But I think for many people, and if this resonates with you, sometimes our limiting beliefs and the self-doubt that we have can be so taxing on the dreams that we have that it eventually drowns any potential that we have or abilities that we have, because we just think it's not for us. We think that, it's too much of a dream, or it's not possible, or you need to be realistic. But I'm here to tell you that this is freaking Love and Life with Court. And here we learn ways to love our life and embrace our life and embrace challenges. And that's exactly what I've been doing and why we are talking about it today. So let's get into the first thing that I learned, which is self-doubt is a reflection of your current state. It is simply a reflection of what is going on externally. So the people that we surround ourselves with, the events that are happening when I'm not growing as fast as I want to, or when my finances are not where I want them to be, I begin to doubt myself because this is what's going on in my current state. And then I think to myself, what can I do right now to shift this belief? What can I do to challenge these feelings of self-doubt? Begin to, take control of my environment and the things that are going on without being attached to the outcome, and just really show up in a way where I understand that the events that are happening and my own abilities, devotion to what I'm doing are two separate things. And if I just continue to show up, they will blend with one another. I think to myself, what can I do right now to shift this belief? And this all relates to the secret of self-doubt, which is action. Because you have not yet achieved it, it shows you a less predictable path. It shows you that you are ready, and it also embodies how badly you want it. And what I have learned, the biggest aha besides this action piece, which I'm going to get into, is that self-doubt is actually an opportunity to challenge what is going on, to recognize that this self-doubt probably is in relation to how badly I want this, and me trying to fall back into my old patterns of just accepting what my life is, going back into what is comfortable for me. But like I said, I have not yet achieved it, and that's why I am doubting myself. And it shows me a less predictable path. It shows me something that I may not be comfortable with, and a shift that needs to go on in my current state. So at the end of this, when self-doubt comes up, I think to myself that this is a reflection of my current state. This is a time for me to challenge my beliefs and think, what can I do right now to shift this belief? And the secret to self-doubt that I have learned through watching numerous YouTube videos and TED Talks, reading through articles, and the biggest one is listening to Mel Robbins, which she is just chef's kiss, an amazing podcaster, an amazing life guru, is that the secret to self-doubt is showing up and taking action. Because typically when it comes to self-doubt, there is an imbalance in something. It's either we are showing up too much and we are not taking the action to find balance in this. We are not showing up enough, and we are relying on procrastination and the inevitability of things just happening the way they happen. And now is the most important time to take action. So where I say, what can I do right now to shift this belief? I'll give you an example. Let's say that maybe you had a slip up, and this is your current state. Keep this in mind. You had a slip up and you've been lacking. Maybe you overate one night, or you've been under eating, you've been skipping the gym, whatever it is, and you have identified an imbalance. This is where your self-doubt is coming from. Again, there is an imbalance in something, a reflection of our current state. Keep this in mind, that self-doubt is an imbalance and reflection of your current state. So what you could do is sit there, self-sabotage, rely on your indecisiveness or your own limiting beliefs or the limiting beliefs that have been projected onto you. Or you could think, what can I do right now to shift this belief? And the simple thing could be planning to go to the gym or just going to the gym, or planning your meals for the next week so that you ensure you are staying consistent with things, or even something as simple as just making a dinner that fuels your body, having a breakfast tomorrow that makes you feel good and starting your day out right. Taking action, analyzing what your current state is, what the imbalance is. So what has caused this self-doubt to come up? Because there's always an underlying factor, usually a limiting belief that's going on or some kind of self-sabotage. And then take action. Think back to your past achievements. Look at all of the times where you had self-doubt, where self-doubt was coming up, where you didn't think you were able to do something and you took the action to do it. This was happening subconsciously, but now it's your turn to make this subconscious reaction a conscious reaction. Identify when you feel these feelings of self-doubt where you can't accept compliments from others, or you can't give yourself credit, or you're constantly seeking reassurance, or feeling like you yourself are not good enough, or what you're doing is never good enough. Think back to your past achievements. and acknowledge what action you had to take to get through this. And this was a huge one for me because I recognized all of the times along this journey I've had self-doubt. I didn't think I could lose the weight. I didn't think that I could go to college, let alone university. And when I got to university, I didn't think I could graduate. And I kept showing up with action. Anytime that self-doubt came up, subconsciously, I was taking action to get over this. But it was so much harder for me because that entire time my self-talk was shit. I was not taking care of myself. I was constantly indecisive, relying on other people to reassure what I was doing, needing that external validation, not recognizing that it's simply an imbalance and a reflection of my current state. What is going on that I don't like, and how can I improve it? No one holds a higher standard than yourself. But with that, no one can uplift you, love you, support you as much as yourself could. You have the potential to do this. The only thing that you need to do is take action and only trust the things you have evidence for. By taking action, that shows evidence that you are capable of doing things. You do not need to doubt yourself. And it's inevitable, like I said, but if we continue to show up and acknowledge what imbalance is going on, and I really want you to keep in mind that sometimes this imbalance is because you're doing too much. I know there are a lot of you out there that are starting to think, what can I do? And that's the only question I want you to ask yourself is, what can you freaking do to challenge this? Just do something that at the end of the day, you have evidence that you are fucking killing it. I excuse my language, but your girl's feeling passionate. Anywho, I love you all so much. That's today's episode, and a friendly reminder to not only be kind to others, but also to your beautiful, amazing self.